They say power reveals who you are, but sometimes how you treat someone when you think they have none, that's what truly unmasks a person. It was 7:42 p.m. on a humid Tuesday evening in rural Millbrook County. Officer Daniel McCready was on his usual patrol, a man known not for keeping the peace, but for keeping his power. In his mind, certain people didn't belong in certain neighborhoods past certain hours. And tonight, he spotted one. A sleek black Mercedes pulled into a gas station just off Route 14. The driver, a clean-cut black man in his 40s, stepped out wearing a tailored suit, polished shoes, and the calm confidence of someone used to being respected. But to Officer McCready, none of that mattered. Not the car, not the suit, certainly not the man. Out of the car. Now. McCready barked before the man could even finish pumping gas. No probable cause. No explanation. Just assumption, wrapped in a badge. The man, whose name we would all soon learn, didn't flinch. He smiled, slowly raised his hands, and asked with composed clarity, "Is there a problem, officer?" But McCready wasn't listening. He already decided. This was going to be another one of those stops. Another man to humiliate. Another ego to inflate. He pushed the man against the car, frisked him harshly, muttering under his breath, "You people think money can hide you, but I see right through the act." The man's wallet fell during the search. His ID slid onto the pavement. McCready picked it up and froze. James T. Lawrence, Head, Internal Affairs Division, DOJ Office of Civil Rights. For 5 seconds, the air turned to ice. But Officer McCready did what arrogant men often do when faced with a truth they can't control. He doubled down. He yanked Lawrence's arm harder, pretending not to notice. "You think a fake ID is going to scare me? You think I won't take you in?" But Lawrence didn't resist. He didn't beg. He looked him in the eyes and said calmly, "Finish what you started." That was the moment everything began to shift. Because what McCready didn't know was this. Lawrence was in town undercover, sent to investigate a pattern of racial profiling complaints in Millbrook County. Complaints that mysteriously kept disappearing once they reached internal review. But now, they had a first-hand account. Video from the gas station security camera. Audio from Lawrence's body recorder. Witness statements. A live sting operation that went better than planned. The next morning, McCready strutted into the precinct like nothing happened. Until the captain called him into the conference room. There sat Lawrence. No suit, no smile, just the cold, sharp professionalism of someone who'd finally peeled back the last layer of a rotten system. McCready's smirk cracked. He looked around the room. He saw his chief's pale face, the HR rep with trembling hands, and the district attorney, already opening a folder marked misconduct, urgent. Lawrence didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. He played the footage. The racial slur McCready thought he mumbled quietly, it echoed loud and clear. The lack of cause, the unlawful detainment, the thinly veiled threat, all documented. And then Lawrence dropped a bombshell. This isn't about one stop. This is about 15. You've been protected for too long. And every single victim you thought would never be believed, we've found them. We reopened their cases. We have sworn statements. And now we have you, on record, with intent. The room spun. McCready tried to speak. It's not what it looks like. But Lawrence shut the folder, stood up, and walked to the door. He turned once. "Officer McCready, you're relieved of duty. Effective immediately. You are under federal investigation. And by the end of this, you won't just lose your badge. You'll lose your freedom." For once, McCready had no words. Outside, the whispers began. Officers looked away. Some nodded slowly as if justice, long buried, had finally been exhumed. And just like that, the tables turned. The man McCready tried to treat like a suspect had been watching him the entire time. The one he tried to break was the one who would break open an entire precinct's dirty past. Lawrence walked back to his car, where a young black boy stood waiting, his nephew. "Uncle James, did it work?" Lawrence smiled. It worked better than we hoped. In a single night, arrogance collapsed under the weight of truth. A powerful figure used his authority to demean, only to be outplayed by the very system he thought he controlled. McCready's story didn't end with a simple suspension. It would go on to expose a string of cover-ups, false arrests, and decades of intimidation. But what viewers didn't see, what even Lawrence didn't know, was this. Officer McCready wasn't working alone. Later that night, a black SUV pulled into a dark alley behind the precinct. A man stepped out, gray suit, cold eyes, and a burner phone. He made one call. Lawrence is in town. He made contact. We need to move. Tonight, the screen fades to black. Justice had begun, but the real war was just getting started. Never underestimate someone based on how they look, where they come from, or the uniform they don't wear. Because the tables always turn. And when they do, those who once misused power often find themselves powerless. If you believe in accountability, if you believe that no one is above the law, share this story. Let the truth echo louder than the silence that protected the corrupt. And if you want to see what happens when justice goes deeper than one arrest,